And this is Sateesh Patnaik, your trainer. So today's class is Core Java 6th day class in English. So if anyone needs the Telugu class, then tomorrow I'll repeat the same class in Telugu. And if anybody missed the previous classes, in the description I'll provide the playlist. So once check the description for the both playlist, both the Telugu playlist as well as English playlist, I'll provide in the description. Right. So coming to the today's session. See, today we are going to see the arrays and array list. Arrays and array list. Already in the last class, the previous class, just we discussed the introduction about the arrays. But anyway, I'll repeat it within 1 or 2 minutes. Just see. So, what is the use of arrays? Arrays used to store the multiple values into a single variable. Arrays are used to store the multiple values into single variable. Observe the example here. So for example, I'm taking a variable x. So in that x, I want to store a multiple values. So then just go for array. What is the array declaration? The syntax for array declaration is after the variable, just you need to write the square brackets. After the variable, just you need to write the square bracket opening and square bracket closing. Right? It is a declaration of array variable. So then we can store a multiple values into that array variable. So here internally in that variable, a multiple rooms will be constructed. A logical rooms will be constructed. So always the room number is beginning with 0. Always the room number is beginning with 0, like room number 0, room number 1, room number 2. So like that, multiple rooms will be constructed in that variable. See, now these values will be stored into that particular room numbers. The first value will go to the room number 0, the second value will go to the room number 1, the next value will go to the room number 2, like that. So for your understanding purpose, just I explained like a room number 0, room number 1, like that. But actually, as per the technical wording, so it is called as a indexes. Always the array index is beginning with 0. Always the array index is beginning with 0. The first value will go to the room number 0. The second value will go to room number 1. The third value will go to the room number 2, like that. I mean index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, like that. So for your confirmation, just I want to print here like a system.out.println. I want to print the x of 0, the x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4. So what it will print? X of 0 means what is the value inside the x of 0. So it will print 10 here. And here it will print 20. Here it will print 30. So once I'll run the program, so only for your confirmation, just I'm printing the x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3. It will print in the console. So you can observe the console. It is printing from x of 0 is 10, x of 1, 20, x of 2, 30, and so on. And here we are printing x dot length. X dot length means how many total values in that x. See, the x means the array variable is containing totally how many values? The array variable is containing totally 5 values. 5 values, the count. Okay. So x dot length, x is our array variable. Dot length means it will display the total values in that x. Totally there are 5 values in the x. So here for your understanding purpose, for your user friendliness, just I'm writing the length of array is, the length of array is. So within the double quotation, just I'm writing this as it is printing in the bottom. The length of array is so and so. Total length will be printed here. And what is this plus? Plus is a concatenation operator. It is concatenating the numeric value with a string value. So it was our last session. Now coming to the today's session. See, today the continuation. I want to store more values into the array variable. I want to store more values into the array variable. Say, observe the second example here. Like I'm going to store 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, multiple values into the x. Okay. And I want to print all those values here. See, then you need to write system.out.println. So you need to write x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4. Like that, you need to write a multiple lines, right? Instead of writing x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4, and so and so, just I'm using a for loop here. I'm using for loop. In the previous class already we discussed for loop. See here in the for loop, first of all initialization. I'm initializing with I equal to 0. That means initially the I value is beginning with 0. Next I is less than x dot length. That means it will check the I value should be less than the x dot length. What is the meaning of x dot length? As per the previous program, the x dot length means it will count how many values in the particular array. I is less than x dot length I plus plus. So here it will print all the values from x of 0 to till ending x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, like that. So it is printing from x of 0 to till ending, it is printing. So with using this for loop, we can decrease the size of your program. Instead of writing system.out.println x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4, instead of writing all those things, simply I'm writing x of I. Simply I'm writing x of I, and I'm passing the I value with using a for loop. So already we learned a for loop in the previous class. Here the I value is beginning with 0, the I is less than x dot length I plus plus. First it will print x of 0, next it will print x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, like that till I is less than x dot length, it will continue. For example, for your understanding purpose, see presently you can see from 10 to 80 all the values are printed. Okay, fine. See if I give I equal to 1, if I give I equal to 1, then can you guess what will be the output for this program? It will not print x of 0. Why? Because we are starting with I equal to 1. So it is beginning with x of 1. X of I means x of 1. So if I run the program, which value will be missing? X of 0 will be missing. It is starting with x of 1. Say, observe the output. So which number is missing? 10 is missing. So we are printing from 20. So here always the array index is beginning with 0. So that's why here in the for loop, so don't begin with 1. If you begin with 1, the 0th value will be missing in the output. So that's why you need to start with I equal to 0. Then you can print all the values from the beginning. You can print all the values from the beginning. Now one more thing for your understanding purpose, just I'll make it as only 5 numbers, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, only 5 numbers. See here, I is less than x dot length. Now, what is the meaning of x dot length here? So presently the x dot length is nothing but 5. Now, for your understanding purpose, just I am writing I is less than 5. So I is less than 5 means, so it will print x of 0. See here for your understanding purpose, I am writing. See it will print x of 0. Next one, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4. Now I is less than 5. Less than 5 means up to 4. It is beginning with 0. So x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, and x of 4. It is printing. See if I run the program, okay, it is good. The output will be 10 to 50. Okay, it is good. Then why you need to write x dot length here instead of 5? So why you need to write x dot length? So here we have a small problem. The problem is, so if you give a fixed number here, then if any dynamic changes in the values, the changes are not affected here. For example, now I'll go with 60 and 70. Now I'm adding some 60 and 70 here. If I run the program, can you guess what will be the output? It will print from 0 to less than 5 only. So it is not printing the remaining values. See, it is printing from 10 to 50 only. Why? Because here we are writing I value should begins with a 0. I value should be less than 5. Less than 5 means up to 4. So totally only the 5 values are printed here. It is not printing the 60 and 70. So if any dynamic changes here, the changes are not affected in the output. So that's why don't give a fixed number in this for loop. Don't give a fixed number in this for loop. Instead of giving that fixed number, so we need to write x dot length. We need to write x dot length. So previously the x dot length is 5, but now what is the x dot length after this modification? So how many values in that x? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now the x dot length is 7. So it is less than 7 means it will print the x of 5 and it will print the x of 6 also. See, now observe the output. So it is printing from 10 to 70. Whatever the numbers we are adding, that is updated here. For example, if I add 2 more numbers, yes, it will be updated. If I run the program, it will be updated. See, that's why better in the for loop, don't give a fixed number. You need to write x dot length. See, the previous program and this program both are same, but only the difference is previously we are writing x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3 manually. But instead of writing all these numbers manually, just we are using a for loop to make our work easy. To decrease the size of the program, we are using this for loop concept. Now, this is about the introduction about your arrays. But we need to learn one more thing. In the both examples, in the example 1 and in the example 2, in the both examples, we are defining the array. We defined the array at the time of declaration. At the time of declaration. So where you are declaring the variable in the same line, we are defining the array. We defined the array. But now I want to explain. Declare the array separately and define the array separately. I want to explain. Declare the array separately and define the array separately. But what is a declaration? So just I'll explain a small information here. Just see, observe this notepad. Now, if I write only int x, my normal variable, int x. So this is called as a variable declaration. Declaring a variable. This is called declaring a variable. So if I write some x equal to 10, so this is called defining a variable. This is called defining a variable. Now, first one is a declaration of a variable. This is called as defining the variable. So if I write like int x equal to 10, what is the meaning of int x equal to 10? Here we are defining the variable. We are defining the variable at the time of declaration. At the time of declaration only, we are defining the variable here. Okay. See, now observe this one. In this example 1 and example 2, we are defining the array at the time of declaration only. But now I want to explain how to declare the array separately, how to define the array separately, how to declare the array separately, how to define the array separately. So now we need to see that. See, observe this example. This is an example for declaration of the array. This is a defining the array. This line is a declaration of array. So for your understanding purpose, I written a comment. So declaration of the array. See, this array declaration, left hand side part already like give some data type, variable, square brackets. Okay, it is fine. So opposite side, it is similar to your object creation. It is similar to your object creation. We need to use the object data type. What is the object data type? New. And we need to repeat the variable data type. Whatever the data type given for this variable, the same data type you need to repeat here. And at the time of declaration, you need to mention the size of the array or the length of the array. You need to mention the length of the array or the size of the array. It is mandatory. At the time of declaration, you need to give this array size. At the time of defining the array, you can't exceed this size. You can't exceed this size. For example, what is the size I mentioned here? For example, I mentioned the size is 3. Then maximum how many values I can store in that x? max I can store 3 values only. So I can't go with a 4th value or 5th value. So at the time of declaration, your wish, you can make it as a 3 or 10 or 50 or 60, that is up to you. But for example, I given the size is 3. So max how many values we can store here? Max we can store that 3 values only. So at the time of defining the array, always the array index is beginning with 0. Previously we learned always the array index is beginning with 0. So you need to write x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, like that. So in x of 0, for example, I want to store some integer value. Why? Because what is the data type for the x? The x data type is integer. So you can give any integer values here, your wish. For example, I'm giving like a 10, 20, 30. So this is array declaration. This is defining the array. So printing is same like your previous program. There is no difference, like system.out.println. So if you want to write x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, your wish, or better you can go with a for loop for I equal to 0, I less than x dot length, I plus plus, just I want to print all the values in the particular array. So it is printing what is the value in x of 0, and after that x of 1, x of 2, it is printing all the values here. Right, Aman? Are you okay? See, here instead of integer, once I want to go with a string, I want to try with a string. So here if you write a string, opposite side, here also you need to make it as a string only. And when you are defining the values, instead of 10, 20, 30, you need to give the string values. String values means the value in a double quotation. Value in double quotation. I'll show the example. Just observe the example. Here, if you make it as a string, the data type is string. The opposite also you need to make it as a string only. And when you are giving the values, it may be 10, 20, 30, or it may be some Ramesh, Suresh, your wish. It can be anything, but it must be in double quotations. It must be in double quotations. Why? Because in Java, the strings must be in double quotations. So this is array declaration, array variable declaration. Here we are defining the array variable. So here, while defining the values, the index is beginning with 0 only. Always the array index is beginning with 0. There is no change here, but only the change with the values only. The values may be integer values, or the values may be string values. You need to take care here. Okay, ma'am? Now, printing, there is no difference in printing. You need to print x of 0, x of 1, x of 2. So, or you can write x of I. The I value is passing through for loop. We are passing the I value with using a for loop. Like initially I value is a 0, I less than x dot length, I plus plus. Okay, so it will go with x of 0, x of 1, x of 2. So like that. See here I'm executing. So it is printing the x of 0 means 10, x of 1 Ramesh, x of 2 Suresh, and so on. Right? So this is about array sum. But in arrays, we have a small drawback. The drawback is at the time of declaration, whatever the size you mention here, see, you should define the array variable within that limit only. You can't exceed the size. While defining the array variable. You can't exceed this size while defining the array variable. You can't give the 4th value or 5th value. Okay. So to overcome this drawback, we have a concept, ArrayList. Okay. See, observe this ArrayList concept. This ArrayList is also called as a collections. Another name for the ArrayList is collections. And another small request, already you know my request. So please like the video and share the video with your friends and subscribe my channel. And if anyone needs the online training, one-to-one online training, so in the description I'll provide my mail ID. Please contact me. So not only you, even your family members or your relatives, your friends, anyone needs the Java training I mean core Java training or QA training. I mean Selenium with WebDriver or SQL Server manual testing training. So any of you needs this training, please contact me. I'll provide the online one-to-one training. And so please subscribe my channel and support my channel. Okay. And mainly like the video. If you like the video, then it will reach to the more people. Okay. Now see, observe the continuation. Say here, this array list is also called as a collections. Say, what is the drawback in your arrays? The drawback is at the time of declaration, whatever the size you mentioned, say you should be in that limit only. At the time of defining the array, you can't exceed the particular size. So to overcome that drawback, say observe the array list. In array list, at the time of declaration, see it is the array list variable declaration, I'll explain. But at the time of this declaration, you can give any size. You can give any size. For example, what is the size I given for this array list variable? My array list variable is X. And what is the size or what is the length I given? For example, 1, only 1. But at the time of defining the variable, how many values I entered here? I entered 3 values. Not only 3, you can give any number of values. It will go with auto resize. Automatically this size will be increased. See, now I'll explain this array list declaration. Actually, this array list is one of the predefined class. The array list is one of the predefined class in your Java. So before using this array list concept, you need to import the array list. From your Java. Of course, no need to by heart this import. See, just I'm deleting this import. See, when you are typing the program, see, just you need to keep the mouse at array list. You need to keep the mouse at your array list. It will ask for import the array list from java.util. And one more thing you need to remember. See here, array list, when you are typing the array list, the A should be in capital letter, list, L should be in capital letter. Already you know the naming convention for the class names. For the class names, what is the naming convention? It should begins with uppercase. No, it is beginning with uppercase, and every internal word is beginning with uppercase. So that's why here the A is uppercase, the L is uppercase. Okay. And when you are creating your own class, don't give your class name as an array list. So why? Because array list is a predefined class name. So your class name should be a different with that. So for example, what is my class name I created here? My class name is array list example. Like that, you need to give a different name for your program, a different name for your class. Okay. Now, observe the declaration of array list variable. So here you need to write array list. Opposite also you need to write array list. The data type, the variable data type, you need to give like this in the less than and greater than symbols only. You need to give the data type of the variable. It may be integer or it may be string, whatever that may be. For example, I'm trying with string. Okay. And opposite also you need to give same like that. Okay. Here you need to give the array list size or array list variable length, in a normal brackets. It should not be in a square brackets. Previously in the arrays, we given the size in square brackets, but here the array length or array list size must be in normal brackets only. For example, I'm giving the size is 1, only 1. But at the time of defining, you can define with any number of values. Automatically, it will go with resize. Now, one more thing. Here, the array list is one of the predefined class. Already you know that. In that class, we have a number of methods. We have a number of predefined methods. We can use that predefined methods. Okay. See, if you want to add some values into the array list, we have a method. What is the predefined method? Add method. Add. With using the add method, you can add the values into array list. You can add the values into your array list. Say here, just I'm adding like a shirt, pen, shoes, and so and so. So why I'm adding in a double quotations? Why? Because what is the data type for the variable? The variable data type is string. So that's why here I'm giving in a I'm giving the values in double quotations. Double quotations. For your understanding purpose, just I'm writing. So the first value will go to the zero, I mean index number 0. So it will go to index number 1. It will go to index number 2. For your understanding purpose only, just I written these comments. Always the first value will go to the 0 index. It will go to index 1. It will go to index 2. So like that. Finally, I want to print the x. I want to print the x. No need to write any for loop here. No need to write any for loop. Just you need to write x. Just you need to write x. Automatically from 0 index to till ending. From 0 index to till ending, all the values will be printed here. You can see the output in the bottom. See what is the x value it is printing? All the values, like it is printing shirt, pen, shoes. So from the 0 index to till ending, all the values will be printing here. And if you want to print a particular value based on the index, if you want to pick a particular value based on the index, then we have a method, get method. What is a predefined method here? Get method is used to get the value based on the index. Get the value based on the index. So system.out.println x.get. So you can give any index number. For example, I'm giving the index number 2. Now presently, what is the value in the index number 2? In the index number 2, we have some shoes. So it is printing shoes. System.out.println x.get. So you can give any index number. According to the index number, the particular value will be captured here. So add is one of the method. It is used to add the values into your array list variable. Get is one of the method. Get method is used to get the value based on the index. Get the value based on the index. We have one more method, set method. Set method is used to reset the value based on the index. Reset the value based on the index. See, in index number 2, previously we have some shoes. Now just I want to replace with the books. I want to replace that value with some books. So here in the set method, you need to give the index number, and after that, what is the new value you want to insert in that particular index? Just you need to give that new value. So just I'm giving the books. After the reset, again I want to print the x. So it will print from 0 index to till ending. See, the 0 index value is a shirt. The next, after the shirt, it will print the pen. Next one, previously we have some shoes, but now it is replaced with books. Now previously we have a shoes. Now it is replacing with books. So if you print the x, so you can see the books here. So what are the predefined methods? Add is a predefined method. Get is a predefined method. Set is also a predefined method to reset the value based on the index. Okay, but in array list, we have another small issue. When you are writing the data types, it is not accepting all the data types. It is accepting only some special types of data types. String is okay. Already you know about the string. But coming to the integer, in generally, how you are writing the integer, int in a lowercase. Already you know that. But only in array list, if you write a lowercase int, it will not accept. Here only you need to write integer like this. I capital letter, and fully you need to write integer. You need to write integer only in array list. In the remaining programs, you need to write a lowercase int only, but in array list, you need to write the integer like this. And one more thing, so you can add the values into your array list variable. You can add the values into the array list variable, and you can add the variables also. You can add the variables also. See, what is our array list variable? X. And I'm adding x.add 10, x.add 20. So not only 10, 20, I'm adding x.add y. I'm adding the values and I'm adding the variable also. But the rule is the variable data type and your array list data type must be same, then only you can add it. So what is our ArrayList variable data type? It is an integer. So here the y should be an integer. So then only you can add the y to your x. So if I print the x, it is printing 10, 20, 30. It is printing 10, 20, 30. All the values are printed here. 10, 20, and 30. All the values are printed. So here you can add the values to your ArrayList variable. You can add the variable also. You can add the variable also, but the variable data type and your ArrayList variable data type must be same. And in ArrayList, if you write a lowercase int, it will not accept. Here you need to write uppercase integer. And when you are writing some double, so if generally how you need to write a double in a lowercase double, but only in ArrayList you need to write uppercase DM, double in uppercase D you need to write, and in the remaining program you can go with a lowercase double. Here also we can add the values and we can add the variable also, but the variable data type and your ArrayList data type must be same, then only you can add the values and variables. Finally, I want to print the x. So x means it is printing all the values like 100.25, 200.35, and the y value. What is the y value? 300.55. So just it's the information about the ArrayList or collections. See, in the next class, we are going to see the access modifiers in Java or access specifiers in Java. So after that, we are going to see the inheritance. So the next class will be access modifiers or access specifiers and the inheritance concept in Java. In the next class, we are going to see. So for today, I'm closing here. So please subscribe my channel, like the video and share the video with your friends. If anyone looking for the Java training, so please forward these links to the particular people. Okay, thank you so much. So for today, I'm closing here. So see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.